What's up? What's up? Welcome to another market recap. Today is November 2nd, 2025. So first trading session of the month. Pretty simple watch list. Just have a bunch of pound pairs. Honestly, just have really one primary pair that I'm looking at for this evening, and it's euro pound right here. Super clean 1 hour IBO, so initial break of the 1 hour 50, but it hasn't broken the 1 hour 200, 4 hour 50. But clear kind of wave one breakdown, nice kind of double top on your 1 hour, your 4 hour, your daily time frame has these, essentially three bearish reversal candles, all kind of like high testy, right? So it looks good. So daily's perfection, 4 hour is perfection, 1 hour is honestly perfection. I haven't seen a setup this clean in a while. So hopefully it pulls back, gives us an entry. We'll see. But clear wave one breakdown, nice clean price action on my 10-minute time frame. Looking for a pullback to roughly, preferably off the 10-minute 200. And I imagine this is going to come down a little bit by the time it gets there. So I imagine the 10-minute 200 is going to line up with the kind of previous 10-minute lows as well as the previous 10-minute high over here. Right, so what was resistance became support, and now what was support is now potentially going to become resistance. That's kind of the concept here. That also lines up with our daily pivot. It lines up with 0.382 fib, and it lines up with the 1 hour 50 EMA. So everything there's a lot of shit essentially lining up right here where we want to take this trade short. It looks good. Looks good. I don't really have any qualms about this. I mean, everything's there. And if it doesn't pull back, but it looks like, it's already kind of starting to pull back. It did kind of gap up right at market rollover. And now it's still a little bit, kind of spready on this. So we'll see what it looks like here in 30 minutes or so when the hour closes and the spreads tighten up. But if it pops back down by the time, this hour closes and all this is just kind of noise due to the spreads and price just continues to push down from there to the 1 hour 200 daily S1, as well as some kind of horizontal support here from our previous daily highs, you can see, right? It's kind of have a zone. This line drawn in is the top of that zone. It could technically go a little bit lower. But it also lines up with our 4 hour 50. So it looks good. So there's a trade either way on this, right? So if it pulls back, we got the IBO, and that's my preference. If it doesn't pull back and it keeps dropping, we have a WTF playing wave two off of all that kind of support area down there. So looks good. Clean trade. And the rest of the pounds are pretty similar, right? Like this pound Mexican is off a double bottom. It's essentially an IBO as well. The gapping from the weekend looks a little bit weird, makes this look a little bit weird. Prior to that, it was pretty clean. Still a possibility, still a potential trade, right? So pound, PLN, same kind of vibe. This is a 1 hour CBO. The problem is it doesn't have like a very large break on your 4 hour time frame. You'd want this to kind of be halfway up here between these EMAs to be like a really solid IBO. So it's a very shallow break IBO, which is not my preference. It is an option because it does have like IBO, CBO, ACB vibes, and all three of the time frames I look for the alignment. But obviously Euro Pound's a clear kind of favorite. And then Pound Knock, similar vibe, but bouncing off of the 1 hour 200. Not the best when considering it's already kind of bouncing off of what on Euro Pound is our target, right? So, but it's still an option. If you remove the EMAs and indicators and just look at price action, it's still pretty nice. And then Pound Knock. Oh, Pound Knock is what we're talking about, not Pound Pavilion. But yeah, same kind of thing. Delete the indicators is still nice. Still have a clear kind of higher high on your 1 hour. Still have gotten a trend change. Looks good. And then Pound CAD, I'm watching here because it's kind of sitting at your daily 200 EMA. So your weekly 50, just kind of resting right there. It's decelerating. It just kind of went sideways for 24 hours or so, if not longer. So what I want to see here is price push up, even if it's kind of like a midday thing. Price push up and then give us a pullback, and then we could kind of like play a midday IBO is how I'm looking at this. It's not really one right now, but it has potential that if it breaks up and in the middle of the day it pulls back, it could be a setup that develops and occurs all in the same kind of trading session. So that's why I got it flagged. Development watch, I'm watching a bunch of Aussie pairs. They're sitting at interesting levels. Nothing that I really want to try and trade like an ABO or a breakout style play from, more so wanting the breakout to occur. And then I'm looking for that IBO, like Euro Pound, for instance. Like there was a potential play here for a double top kind of ABO. I was really waiting for the breakdown. We got the breakdown, same kind of vibe on these Aussie pairs. I'm waiting for that breakdown now to happen and then be able to take these things short. So they're sitting at some decent resistance levels. They're decelerating around them. So it just depends if we get the breakdowns or not. But most of your Aussie pairs are pretty similar in that regard, right? They're all sitting at a level. They're all either going to break the level in the direction that we can trade it, or they're going to continue on in their, daily momentum, and then there's no trade anyways. Pound Singapore, similar to these Aussie pairs, and kind of same vibe. Like there's a lot of pound strength coming to the market. Pound Singapore looks nice, kind of have this daily double bottom here, resistance sitting here again, has nice kind of starting to get deceleration, looking like a 1 hour double bottom, if not turning into a 1 hour triple bottom. But if we get a breakout on this today, so if Euro Pound plays out, this is likely going to break out fully, and then we can play this kind of movement there, like wait for the pullback and play a bounce off of the 1 hour 50. Or if it just, breaks out completely and doesn't even pull back, there's still potential to take a wave 2 off that 1 hour 200, 4 hour 50 area, which is also lines up with some daily resistance, and then take that short back down. Pound dollar, similar vibes. This is starting to shape up to be some kind of interesting. If you swap it over to more so like a weekly layout, maybe. I don't know. On your daily time frame, if you get a pullback right here, right? If price breaks out, which we could trade this on a 1 hour kind of IBO if price breaks out at some point today, and if we can trade this tomorrow or whatever, right? Just another shot at this pound bias that we have. But if price breaks out, we can trade this movement right here, right? And that's what we're trying to do on Euro Pound today. But this could just be like a complex pullback as well, based off of your daily time frame. And price could, it's broken both the EMAs for the first time in a while. And getting a pullback would essentially be a CBO on the daily time frame. It'd be an ATC on our 4 hour time frame, and it'd be an ACB on our 1 hour time frame. So there's a potential for this to be a short, like a nice weekly short as well, if it develops kind of like what we're talking about right here. So, and then pound Swiss, waiting for a break. Been waiting for a break, I guess, for like 2 weeks or so now of this 4 hour 50. It's been holding it pretty nicely downwards, but once we get a full on breakout on the 1 hour, I think this would be a pretty clean 4 hour IBO, 1 hour CBO, and then likely it's going to be a 10-minute ACB. And again, it plays into the whole pound strength bias that we have that started to come into the market late last week. Swiss yen I have on watch just to this, daily time frame has been running and running and running and running. So I'm waiting for a breakdown of really these kind of like this 4 hour price action right here. So if we can get price to break this level, and then we get a nice kind of pullback, play like a CBO, play this kind of movement right here, and that'll line up to be 4 hour IBO, 1 hour CBO. 10-minute will also probably align at that point. So a lot of nice stuff on development for this week. We just got to get some breakouts. And then I have some stuff on weekly development. So these are kind of like swing trades. This is like a 4-hour CBO, right? We go to our kind of our weekly setup. Weekly, you just have some kind of bearish reversal candles. It's still trending up. You're starting to get some bearish reversals. Okay, cool. Daily time frame, we've broken the daily 50. We've had a lower low, so coming back essentially to retest that previous low on the daily 50 EMA will be a lower high and confirm the trend change, right? And then on the 4-hour time frame, that's essentially going to be a CBO. So you have an IBO on the daily, a CBO on the 4-hour, and then as it pulls back here on our 1-hour time frame, it'll likely kind of be this ACB-esque. It's been running a little while to be like a true ACB in my mind. Like a real ACB is what we were just talking about on, what was it, pound dollar? Did I delete it? Oh yeah, pound dollar here. Like if price kind of like breaks up and gives you this complex, pullback with it almost kind of fakes you out a little bit. Like price will break up, it'll pull back, it'll create a new higher low, and then it creates a new higher high. So you're like, oh, trend change. Well, that's where it's sucking everybody in, and then it just continues on because all the higher time frames essentially are just lined up to be their normal strategy to continue the trend. In this case, short. So, yeah, essentially swing CBO, 4-hour CBO is what I'm looking at for this pound Kiwi, CAD PLN, same vibe, right? Kind of broken the daily 50. So an IBO on the daily, 4 hours of CBO, 1 hour needs a pretty substantial pullback, but that'll turn it into an ACB. 3 time frame alignment. Looks pretty nice for like a long swing trade. Now these swing trades though, they last longer, right? Like these day trades that I'm in, I'm typically in them for 6 to 8 hours. These swing trades, they'll probably last, an entire week or so, potentially. They could be over really fast, but you could be in it for a while. Dollar Swiss, same kind of vibe as CAD PLN, daily IBO, 4-hour CBO, 1 hour ACB. And then dollar Mexican, same thing as dollar Swiss. And then dollar NOK, same thing as the other two kind of dollar pairs, right? So a lot of nice stuff developing for a weekly time frame for this week. If we get some pullbacks, and we have some nice opportunities as well for just some normal day trades. And then tonight with Euro Pound, yeah, honestly, I have like picture perfect price action. Looks pretty solid. So either way, that's all I got. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow. See ya.